Hi beautiful souls, this is Nini aka SoulStar Divine Feminine. Welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. As you guys know, I have been in a bad moped scooter accident recently. I've been healing for the last few weeks. I still can't sit down that great, but I am walking finally, which is so amazing. I'm so grateful for my life and everything I have in it. Now today I have extremely special reading. It's for a beloved soul that has been really close to me for a long time, spiritually and energetically. His soul, his higher self, has been speaking to me for about a year now, and that is the wonderful and amazing Jeffree Star, which is probably why you've clicked on this reading. Or it's to my fellow subscribers who are so used to twin flame readings and tarot readings, and they're wondering, who is this person Lini is talking about? Now, this started off from last year when I was still living in London in the collective, and his spirit kept on coming to me and asking me to help him out because he was going through a really horrific time. Now, I'm not going to divulge into a lot of the personal stuff that I've been told, but his soul and my spirit team and my guides were guiding me to do a reading for Jeffree Star, which I filmed. I can even put in screenshots here if I can find them. And there was loads of crazy, horrible, negative entities and energies interfering. There was so much interference going on at that time, and then the reading never went out. Now, for a long time I've been like channeling a lot of spirits. As you guys know, I do twin flame readings, I'm a shaman, I'm in between two worlds, I transcend all the time, I'm always traveling. Astral projection is like just so ordinary to me. And the more and more I've been awakening my abilities, the more and more I've been realizing I am a medium, and spirits of deceased loved ones have been coming towards me, such as Kanika Jenkins, Johnny Cash, Michael Jackson, Rebecca Zaho, all of these people who have been murdered, died, it's been passed on, or they've been covered up. And this all stemmed from when I was a child and I used to know that people were going to die before they were going to die. It's a very, very long story. You guys can watch so many videos on my spiritual awakenings and everything else I've gone through that I'm still starting to share with you as I'm getting more comfortable sharing this with the outside world. Now, the only thing I could put on, as you guys know, in my last reading, I wasn't even able to put clothes on my leg because of the injuries I have, but I've managed to deal with putting on this beautiful boutique sarong, which I can just about handle touching my injuries, second degree burns, road rash. It was horrific. I got thrown off my bike at like 40 miles an hour, but I'm in a good place now. Thank you to myself, my higher self, the universe, my beloved divine masculine. Now today, I've been guided to do a reading for Jeffree Star. And of course, that's when the noise comes. So I'm apologizing to those who have never seen my channel before. I'm not normally lounging around like this, but I've been in a really bad bike accident and I have loads of injuries, and this is after I think maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks of healing these injuries. I was in excruciating pain for a really fucking long time and I never thought I'd be able to get through it, but I've managed to get through it, and I still have to rest my leg. I can't bend it in certain ways. I've only just been able to start walking in a certain way, so this is why I'm lying down to try and rest my leg. I wouldn't normally be lounging around like this in a video. Now, there's probably going to be shit tons of cuts in this video due to the fact that the beautiful Balinese hard workers are hard at work and they're constantly wood carving next door, our beautiful friends Koloko and his family. So anytime you see a cut, it's most likely because they've started sawing away at the wood. So today I have quite a large spread. I'm going to edit it up on the screen now for Jeffree. I'm going to show you the decks that he has guided me to pull out for him and his highest good. So I have Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. I also have the Wicca Oracle card deck by Nada Messer-Lunia Wheaterstone. I have Life Purpose Oracle cards by the fabulous Doreen Virtue, as you guys all know and love. And I've got my OG Atlantis Oracle card deck by Maria Alita. And I say my OG because I am definitely from Atlantis, so to shout out to my fellow Atlanteans and my fellow Aquarians and my fellow Twin Flames and my fellow creatives, just all the beautiful souls in the world. Now, it is absolutely boiling out here in Bali today, in Ubud. If I didn't have to wear clothes, I wouldn't, and I would do this naked lying down, but you know, tough tits. None of my other clothes are clean right now, and these are the only materials that my skin can just about handle, with it being so sore from my injuries everywhere. Not just on my leg, but my arse, hence why I'm lying still on one side. Now, by the power of 3 times 3, let it be, let it be, let it be. By the power of 3 times 3, let these messages ground into this reality. By the power of 3 times 3, let me be a clear channel for Jeffree. 3 has been coming up a lot recently, not just for me, not just for Twin Flames, but also from everything that Jeffree's soul, higher self, whatever you want to label his essence, his spirit, has been coming to me a lot. Hence why I decided to pick 3 beautiful flowers that naturally fell onto my grass, and it feels like it's very connected to him. Mind, body and spirit. I feel like he's very drawn to flower essences, and of course, as always, synchronistically, as I started channeling the messages through the cards, flowers come up, and that he's very good at flower essences. Straight off the bat, before I even look at the cards even more, I feel like Jeffree's definitely either going to be working on a type of I'm seeing like perfume. I don't know if he has a love of perfume and he wants to start working on creating his own perfume and divulging into that realm of business, because he's learned so much about makeup and products and how to ship and market and everything like that. I don't know if it's that he's going to create his own perfume, or if that he's just working more with flower essences and essential oils to put certain flavorings and scents into his makeup already. But definitely, like, yeah, I just see him working more with like somebody who's worked in the perfume world before. Like, straight off the bat, I'm seeing that. Now I do have the grounding cards here for Jeffree, which I'll show. Oh, look at, oh, that beautiful butterfly. Oh, I don't think that was on camera. It literally just flew right above the camera. I know that was a spirit guide. And just before to my DM, I was saying that I literally could see visions of Jeffree walking around the house, and he was saying, Nini, you got this, you got this. And I kept on getting told, because morally, ethically, consciously, I'm like, what? Even how it was last year when I tried to film this reading, I was like, what do? Do I just message Jeffree, say, hi, I've got loads of messages for you? Do I just make this video and send it and hope he sees it? Do I put this video out onto YouTube so there'll be more of a momentum so he can see it? I didn't really know what to do egotistically and logically. And I just got guided once again that, Nini, put this out there. Put it out there for Jeffree. Energetically and spiritually, this is going to help him in so many ways, even if he doesn't physically see it. People that are connected to him, his subscribers, his followers, him, his friends, the energy is so great and momentous. And when my DM came over to the deck, the table with all the cards on to give me my cacao, he said he could feel such an over emotional energy, and it is really strong. And my third eye is pulsating like mad right now. I feel like, so I'm just saying this for any of you watching thinking unsolicited negative thoughts. If you guys aren't connected to yourself, to your abilities, to spirit, then you won't understand this. It won't resonate with you. But if you guys are, then you understand when you've been guided to do something that other people may not be guided to do. And with that being said, let's start with the reading. So the grounding cards we have for the top row of the reading is forgiveness. But let's start. Oops, sorry about that. Come on. Let's start with the first card. Wow. Okay. Okay, so obviously everyone knows physically that Jeffree's going through a tough time. People don't really know how horrific it's gotten emotionally and mentally for him behind closed doors. Wow, my heart is hurting so much. Spirit is saying that Jeffree, my beloved, you beautiful soul, you've gone through so much. You need to continue creating a more spiritual grounding ceremony for yourself on a day-to-day basis. And I know that that's another reason why I was guided to pull this chair out here by my pool, by my garden, not just for Jeffree, is not just for his aesthetic, but because I've been channeling him for the last 24 hours now. It's like, this is something he would love. And I remember seeing in a video, because I feel like in this reading it's going to be so weird, because I'm going to have to constantly justify the things I see compared to the things I'm hearing and visualizing. I know he's got a chair in his garden, and he goes out there to connect with himself. Straight away, Spirit's telling me that, Jeffree, you need to create a more spiritual grounding ceremony for yourself on a regular basis, on a day-to-day basis, whether it is literally coming out to your chair in your beautiful garden, meditating, connecting with yourself, not allowing your logical mind, that toxic masculinity or toxic femininity, because I feel like Jeffree's energy is much more... I feel like when he goes out into the 3D world, he has this typical 3D mask, masculine, divine masculine mask on to get the shit done. But then the feminine part of him, it's always the wounded feminine, the unhealed feminine. The inner child demons are just still completely and utterly enthralled in his energy fields, and they're always just sitting there, lying there. There's so much of him that needs to still come out into the light, to be seen, to be heard, to be healed, to be cherished, to be appreciated. And it feels like Spirit wants you, Jeffree, to really start grounding yourself more, connecting with yourself more. Spend time sitting out in the garden by yourself, connecting with nature, walking out barefoot, literally connecting your barefoot to Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, feeling that divine connection from this beautiful earthly plane that you are having an experience in, because you are a soul having a human experience. And it's going to help you to really get clearer, not overthink and overanalyze things, not beat yourself up. Because I know, I can feel it, like my head, I feel like energetically, if I could show you visually what's going on, it feels like my head is bursting at the seams, like it's about to implode, because there's so much going on mentally and emotionally. And I'm thinking about 500 fucking things every minute. And it feels like the only time I don't really think about it is when I'm like chilling with my partner, or maybe smoking a spliff, or maybe doing my makeup. But even then, I feel like, because there's so much going on, it's like I can still feel all of that chatter, like just there. It's not like completely cleared out. And I feel like Jeffree really needs to spend time really getting clear, really getting still, like super still, like the ancestors I have behind me, completely and utterly still. Success Through Stillness. That is a very good recommended book by my fellow friend Russell Simmons. Success Through Stillness. I really feel like he's going to have to become more still and more clear, because even though he's got really good intuition, like you've got really great intuition, Jeffree, but it's always clouded and distorted, because so much of your inner child demons, your lack of self-worth that you've had for so long as a child, it's still creeping in so much in so many ways. And yes, you've been able to overcome certain struggles and be able to my titty out, hey! And you've been able to overcome certain struggles and create successes in your life, but you still feel like, plain and simple, there are so many things that Jeffree still feels like he's not good enough for, emotionally. And I feel like he doesn't share that with anyone. Like, he doesn't say that out loud, openly, to anyone. But to himself, he says it. Wow, the wind is clearing out all the unwanted energies. There you go, now there's one left. I feel like if he can really ground... Sorry, Jeffree, I tend to always talk about... Jeffree, I always tend to address people as if it's somebody else watching for them. That's a habit. Twin flame readings, it's a habit. When I'm addressing the feminines, talking about the masculines, it's a habit. I feel like if Jeffree could actually spend more time grounding himself and getting clear and getting really still, he'll realize that he has so much more to give himself. in ways that he hasn't been able to face, in ways he hasn't allowed himself to see or feel. And he'll be guided. It's like the guidance will just come through clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer, like without even thinking, just naturally. I started gravitating towards the decks. I just heard in my head, Jeffree Star, Jeffree Star, Jeffree Star. Like I just kept hearing it again and again and again. Shit, okay, Jeffree wants me to do a reading for him. Wow, okay, cool. And then I was just guided. Which decks? Yes, no, yes, yes. Okay, cool. Things will just pop up because you'll be more open to receive certain energies that you've been wanting for so long. And it's going to be so rewarding to really develop that deep spiritual, emotional, mental connection with yourself, with your inner child, Jeffree. There's so much abundance in your life around you, and you are grateful, but you're not realizing how abundant you could be within. Just you as a soul that are in this human vessel. There is so much abundance and happiness within that you need to reawaken, you need to realign, you need to rebalance yourself, as within, so without. If you want people you can trust, love, great opportunities, happy life, you have to focus on building that within, and it will be so rewarding. Yes, sometimes it's like, fucking hell, I need a fucking break. I just want to suck a dick and get high. But damn, sometimes you have to face these demons that you've been holding on to. Sometimes you have to face these wounds that you just don't even want to face. You don't even want to think about it. But realize that every single thing is energy. What kind of energy do you want to feel every day? What kind of energy do you want to emit out to the universe? Because on some subconscious level, you are still attracting some of these horrific things that are coming into your life because that energy is still sitting within you. So if you continue to really hone in and focus and appreciate everything you have within you, regardless of what's outside. I'm not talking about the chair, the pool, the garden, the fact I'm in Bali, the kimono I'm wearing. I'm talking about my soul essence, realizing how abundant, how beautiful, how happy I am within, how much I appreciate me, my inner child, my teenage self, my soul, my spirit. And if you continue doing that, wow, it'll just be like a path. It will just be lit up for you, like ding, 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 ding. This is the path for Jeffree. Like, literally. Oh, wow, I can feel literal downloads going into my head right now. Okay. Second card we have for Jeffree. Wow. This is so fucking cute, man. Wow. This is literally just going hand in hand with what I said. It's your inner child, Jeffree. It literally is your inner child. Your inner child wants to be free. And of course, yes, you're creative. Like, you've taken steps and been so brave when so many others haven't. But as I said, there are so many parts of you that still need to be shown. There's so much light that needs to be shown on those dark holes that you just keep locked away. It feels like there's so much of Jeffree's inner child that he's not only pushed away, pretended it didn't happen, walked away, looked away, but before he walked away, it's like he got a small box. He put this horrible experience in that box, locked it up, key, done. Okay, throw it into a bigger box, locked it away. Key, done. In a bigger box, locked it away. Key, done. Bigger box, bigger box, bigger box, bigger box. And then all of a sudden he has like 10 fucking boxes and decided to put them in the broken ass cupboard in the corner of the room, and then fucking put the cupboard behind the bed so that he can forget the cupboard even exists because the bed's in front of it. And then he's just like, la 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 la. Okay, let's continue on. I've got to be strong. I've got to be determined. And it's got him so far. And that's the ego. That's the ego. The ego will only get you to a certain place. The ego is there to protect you. At a certain time, for a certain amount of time in certain places in time in your life journey. It comes in like this crazy fortress, this protection. And then you realize that the ego isn't actually that great for you, because all it is logic. And a lot of the time, these healing processes, this elevation, this ascension, creating things, believing in the impossible, it isn't logical. It is your spirit. It is your soul's essence. And at this point in time, Jeffree has to give more to his spirit and give more to his soul. And that includes actually trying to love his inner child more. Unlocking all of these things he's buried. Finding that cupboard that he fucking forgot about. I feel like already things are popping up in Jeffree's life that happened when he was 7, 12, 18, 17, 16. I feel like 14 to 18 was a huge fucking horrific time. When I see... I'm trying to logically in English explain how I see or visualize or hear the way that souls contact me. It's like I literally just saw the number 14 and I saw him write 18, Jeffree's soul, which is coming to me as his physical vessel, even though he's an essence. But that's because of the way that I talk to spirit and I ask spirit to show me certain things so I can logically understand it and try and say it in English, this crazy foreign language that we've all been programmed to fucking speak. But when I see 14 to 18, my head is hurting so much, and it's like I just see this massive black cloud, like just, and all these crazy entities and energies just swirling all in around it. And I feel like that period of time specifically, I feel like that, Jeffree, if you start allowing your inner child to be free more, like, and I mean literally, and I can feel my rose quartz tugging on me right now, you have to love yourself in ways that you haven't done yet. You have to. It is integral to your life's journey, to your life's purpose, to your life's happiness, to your daily happiness, to everything around you and everything you're attracting on a conscious and subconscious level. You have to literally sit with yourself. Be uncomfortable. Know that you are transforming when you face these things, and literally talk to yourself. Talk to your inner child. Inner child, I'm sorry that this happened to you. Cry if you need to fucking cry this out. You need to purge. You need to clear out these blockages, because they are now delaying so much of your happiness, so much of your fucking peace. Your peace. You need to sit with yourself and tell yourself, I love my inner child. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, inner child, that this happened to you. I'm so sorry that this happened to you. I know it fucking hurts. It hurts. But I promise you, you are safe. You are protected. You are beautiful. And you are fucking worthy. You are worthy of happiness. You will get through this. I will help you through this. And we will show the world what real and unconditional love fucking is. You have to love your inner child more. You have to talk to your inner child more. You have to address your inner child more. You have to let your inner child be free. Let that guidance from your inner child come in. Do the things that you used to love doing as a child. I don't give a fuck if it makes you look crazy to the outside world. Who gives a fuck? Whether it's flying kites, whether it's eating 500 fucking marshmallows, like, oh, who can eat 500 marshmallows in 1 minute? Like, let's just do it for shits and gigs. Okay, cool. Let's watch loads of anime and then create our own crazy anime show that looks really, really shit because we're drunk off our faces. But this is the best feeling I felt in so fucking long. I feel like my inner child is just singing. Playtime is essential. And I mean playtime for the inner child within you. Your child. You are your first child. What did you want to do when you were younger? What did you seek? What did you crave? What did you miss out on? What do you still cry about? Show all of that love, that freedom, that attention, that affection. The affection, I can feel it. I can feel it. It feels like this massive cloud, like almost like a virus that came into Jeffree's life. And it was just like literally for so long. And now, Jeffree, you have to now give yourself all of that affection that you wished that you had when you were younger, that you craved to have when you were younger. Because it doesn't matter how divine your partner is in life, if you can't give it to yourself, you will never fully be fulfilled. You will still be like, oh my gosh, this is the best person that's come into my life, I'm in a great relationship, this is amazing, blah blah blah. But then when you're by yourself, or even when you're lying in bed, it's like 100% you're not happy, 100% you're not fulfilled, because you're still not giving yourself that fulfillment. You need to give that affection to your inner child, to your first child, to you, because your child is your true essence. That is freedom, that is creativity, that is imagination, that is jumping first without even thinking, that is in flow. Be in flow with life. Be happy, high vibrational. You're going to have to face some of these demons, some of these wounds that you haven't healed, that you've tried to cover up and throw away. You have to address them. You have to tell yourself, tell your inner child, it's okay. It fucking sucked what happened to you, but guess what? That energy is clearing out. I am clearing that energy out. It is no longer your storyline. It was an experience. It's taught you a fucking shit ton about life and people and how fucked up everything can be. But it is no longer your storyline. You do not need to carry that with you anymore. You do not need to carry that energy with you anymore. You do not need to have all those burdens on your heart anymore, because I feel it. Jeffree's heart is so heavy. It's like there's so many wounds and like swords, like physically in his heart, and so many of them he hasn't even realized that he could take it out and free himself of that pain. And that's what spirit is trying to get him to do. Be more playful, be more free flowing. And I know you're not gonna like it, but trust. And it's funny because trust is one of the grounding cards, but trust that you will take yourself exactly where you need to go if you allow your inner child to be more free, if you hear this inner guidance more. And I know RuPaul says it all the fucking time, but if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love anybody else? For real. And we all go through this. We all have inner child demons. We all have inner child wounds to bear and to rise up from the ashes like a phoenix that's just been reborn and face all of these wounds. And guess what, honey? You've got the fucking time, you've got the resources, you've got the means. And even when you don't have the time, the resources, or the means, you still have to trust that healing your inner child is the best thing you can do for your fucking life. I quit my job. When was it? Oh my gosh, I don't even remember. Maybe a year and a half ago now. Something like that. Working a shitty office job that I hated in a really toxic relationship with a narcissist. And I was really needy is the word. I was really codependent. I was going to say self-dependent. I was really codependent on this person. And it all stemmed from my inner child wounds and my inner child demons that had been plaguing me my whole life. Depression for 14, 15 years, always self-harming and then trying to not self-harm and then going on pills and then not going on pills. And my gosh, 500 fucking suicide attempts I have tried in my lifetime. And I took it upon myself to quit my job because I knew that my inner child had to finally be healed, cherished, loved, attention. That light had to be shown on my inner child. I had to pay £1,300 a month for my rent. I wasn't even utilizing all the spaces in my place because I lived in a collective space that had a cinema, a gym, all of these amazing things. I was barely using it. I could barely leave my room because I was so depressed. I was so ashamed. I felt so worthless. I hated myself because of all the shit I'd gone through from being abused for so long, from always having toxic family members always talking down to me, talking shit about me, throwing me up and down the stairs, hurting me physically, my dad dying when I was younger and no one giving a fuck, so many things. And I knew that my inner child had to be healed, had to be cherished, had to be loved. And I would always cry for years, why didn't my mum love me in this way? Why didn't this person? Until I realized I had to do it my fucking self. And it didn't come from me, you know, suddenly making X amount of money. It didn't come from me getting a nice car, even though I still don't even drive. So that's just a fucking example. It didn't come from me living in a great place, like with a sauna, a gym, a spa, a cinema. It didn't come from any of those things. I knew it had to come from the love from myself. I knew I had to be my own best friend, my own mother, my own father, my greatest auntie, my greatest uncle, my best fucking friend to myself. And I had to do that, and I quit my job, and I trusted that the universe has my back, and I trusted that I knew that if I healed my inner child demons and healed all these wounds and started filling all these wounds with love and affection and light, acceptance is a fucking key. I knew if I did that for not just me but everyone involved that helped to hurt me, that helped to create these wounds, I knew that it would take me way further in life than just trying to overcompensate by nice car, good money, great house. That's bullshit. Love is essential. Love is the only real energy that fucking matters. Love is vital. Love is what takes everyone to the greatest space ever. Love is the most high vibrational energy you can ever attract, admit, and feel. And if you do this and start creating amazing experiences for your inner child. Oh, when I was a child, I always used to want to, I don't know, go to fucking Wacky Warehouse and play in all those, I don't know, like Gunball. I feel like, is it a Gunball? What is it? I don't know, I'm seeing visions of like you playing in, like those play pits, like full of all the colored plastic balls, and you can just jump into them and play around and throw them at your friends and people that you love and everything like that, and like going down those crazy like soft slides, and going to like water parks and playing on loads of like arcade games like with guns and shooting zombies, and like I just feel so much of that is just gonna like help free you. And I feel like you've put on this mask to protect yourself for so long that in some ways you don't even know how to wash that mask off. It feels like wow, I heard Jeffree just say that. Or, Jeffree's higher self, Jeffree's soul, just said, I just want to be loved. I know. I know you do. I know you do, baby. I know you do. And you have to love yourself in ways that you wish that other people would love you. It has to come from you, and I know that you know that already. And I know it's fucking hard. It's so hard sometimes. It's so hard sometimes to really look at yourself and realize that you have to be the strongest warrior that you don't even know if you can be, but you know you have to be. And sometimes when you've been at battle for so long and you've been slaying all these dragons and all these opposing teams for so long, you feel like that's the only way that you can show love, until you realize, wait, I need to be vulnerable now. I need to be vulnerable to myself. But you're getting there. You're getting there more and more every day. You really are. You're going through such a huge transformation right now, and I know that's why I kept seeing the 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. The transformation, the butterflies, rising from the ashes like a phoenix, washing off all these layers, these masks, letting your inner child be free, this light just shining in you, coming down to you. As above, so below, as within, so without. All of this abundance that you're realizing is within you, and then it just being reflected from the outside world. There's always going to be negative energies and entities that will try and fuck up your shit, because the more and more you rise, the more and more they will try and keep you down. But you're realizing that you don't have to fight every battle that comes across your path. You can just be in love and light, and send them love and light, and keep that peace and that tranquility for yourself. Oh, and here we go. So let's wait till my next door neighbours finish the work.
And if That's high unit, so I moved.
Hello. Check. Mic 1, 2. I want to love you. Pretty young thing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me over the noise? Can you hear me? Can you hear me over the noise? You guys, we found the little connector that we had because I bought this condenser microphone ages and ages ago, and I remembered in a Hawaii, however you pronounce it, kit, we got this little extender thing to add it so that a normal wire could fit into a phone jack, because the Hawaii Pro doesn't have an ordinary phone jack. It's got like a C-type, and we just tested this out, so it seems like it's actually working. So even though the wood carving noise in the background is so freaking loud, I'm hoping that you guys can still hear me. I'm hoping that you guys can still hear me. It did come with one of those little stands that you could just put like right here, but as you probably heard my DM say, we can't find out where it is. So thumbs up that this microphone is actually going to work and the background noise is actually proper far away in the distance. So this is going to be strange. I've never done a reading with a microphone before in hand. So let's go, Eskimo. So the next card we have, I feel like I'm on a game show. You can win this beautiful house. The next card we have is Source, Akashic Records. And just in case any of you guys don't know why I'm showing you, the cards, I've started showing them a lot more in my readings so that you can also use your intuition and awaken your own abilities to pick up on messages from seeing the visuals yourself and not just hearing my guidance that I'm channeling. Wow. This feels weird. My ego just has to drop the fact that it feels weird. Wow. The trust cards moved as well. That's funny. It feels like Jeffree, Jeffree already feels like he's super intuitive. I feel like he's aware when he's doing something that's actually developing himself as a soul, as a human being, and developing this experience he's having. But it feels like the more creative outlets he can pursue and experience and try out, the more he's connecting with his real self. Because I feel like there's a lot of different projects he's working on now currently, and there's so many projects he used to work on in the past that so many people don't even know he's tried and done. And whether he was successful in it or whether he failed in it, it was still a success because he tried something new and experienced something new and learned something different. And the more and more creative he is, and the more and more he can use his imagination, it's helping him to emerge his true essence out into the world. It feels very etheric, very ethereal. It feels like when he taps into different energies, he can do it so well. Like, he's able to tap into so many different experiences and really immerse himself within them, and it helps to just add on to this like resume of talent and different abilities that it's like he's reminding himself of who he really is, like we all are. But he realizes that a lot of the ways to do that is by these amazing creative imaginative risks that most people don't take in life. I also feel like he's either working on an altar or he should create an altar. I feel like he's already got his own version of his own altar, like with his like bags and shoes and stuff like that, like because they represent, you know, different parts of his success and him coming into this new journey, this elevation. But I feel like he should or is working on attuning, gathering up more resources of things that can help him in different ways, understanding that everything is energy, and that by putting almost like putting stuff that he finds inspirational, like deep within his heart, like a designer bag in the corner, and then a picture of somebody that he finds inspirational, like a fellow creator, or a picture of himself, a picture of his mum, sending her love and light, and understanding that her true essence is trying to emerge through all of this crazy horrific stuff she's been through, just like he is. And I really feel like if he was connecting more with crystals and reminding himself that he really is this crystalline being, this limitless being, that he has all the cells and information within him, everything he needs is within him, everything he is seeking is within him. And I feel like by creating this type of altar, crystals, salt lamps, sage, to protect his energy, because there are so many fucking energies just flying daggers at him like non-stop 24/7, alongside certain like deities, or if he considered like himself as a deity, or someone that he could look up to for inspiration. Fuck it, wow, I just saw that. Wow, okay. I feel like if he put a picture of himself as a child, like when he used to be really broody and moody, going through the full-on goth phase with his hair black and red and just looking like, "Grr." I feel like if he put that child on this altar that he's creating, where he'll go there to, you know, offer that love and that light every day, like that's a special sanctuary for him. Oh wow, the messages, the downloads that would just come in. He's really connecting to the deepest part of his self, his being. These old testaments, this information that's been lying within his core this whole time, because he is his own universe, as you are your own universe. And the Akashic records, this it's a light activation. He is literally activating this divine light within him. Jeffree does so much every day. People can't even comprehend just how many pies he has his hands in. And that's all great and it's amazing, but it feels like spirit's pushing him and guiding him to really take a fucking time out. Like, get off social media for a while. Don't, like, send your assistant to go and do more of these things, or put your meetings on hold for a while and just try and gather some peace and quiet. Like stillness, once again, like stillness, complete stillness. Because then you can be open to receive all of these messages, all of this guidance from you, from your higher self, the version of you that can see everything from such a higher perspective, 20, 30, 40 years in the future, knowing exactly what you should be doing, what you should be paying attention to. And I feel like there are certain things in Jeffree's life that he's so used to doing, whether it's a certain thing that he's used to doing or a certain person he's used to talking to, and it feels like that energy, that experience, it just doesn't serve him anymore. So he's having to just like allow it to like breeze out of his life, like a leaf falling from a tree. It's like times are fucking changing. Like when the leaves turn color in autumn, it feels like it's just breezing. It doesn't feel like he's cutting things out on purpose. It feels like it's just, he's allowing it to just let go. And as he's doing that, more of this light, more of this love, more of this high vibrational energy is coming in. Wow. I fucking love this. Galactica. This is the next card for Jeffree. And as I said, I really hope you guys can hear me through this microphone. I really hope you can. I might have to start using this all the time now, because it's been a battle to film readings all in and around my house a lot of the time, because it's either too dark or it's too noisy outside, and then I only have maybe an hour and a half to film when the wood carvers have stopped, and then it's like, wait. Thank you, Spirit, for providing this today. hope you guys didn't see my coochie just then. Okay, I just saw so much. So first of all, Jeffree is taking the time out to focus on realigning and rebalancing his own energy. He's needing to protect himself energetically more, but also elevate himself and elevate his inner child. Everything I've spoken about already. But it feels like he almost, like, he's aware that he's healing certain things, but he doesn't know, or he's not aware that by healing point A and point D, that E, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N are all healing simultaneously, because he's doing A and he's doing D. Like, the rest is following in. And then on top of that, closure is coming towards him at lightning speed. Like, it really is. Like he's healing so many parts of himself that he's not aware of. But I was seeing visions of him singing, and I feel like for him, making music, writing lyrics, composing different beats, and techno keeps popping up in my head. Like, I'm seeing like flashy, like club, like rainbow lights, and like I don't know, like techno mixed with a bit of rock and pop. And now Erica Jane's coming into my head, like what is that song again? How Many Fucks Do I Give by Erica Jane. Like, I feel like him making music, writing music is so therapeutic for him on such a deep core level, that is such a good thing, and he should do more of it. And maybe he's already doing it. But then I also feel like he's designing shoes, or has an interest to design shoes. It feels like, yes, everyone knows Jeffree loves fashion, but it feels like when it comes to shoes, like, and I'm specifically thinking of like Dolls Kills style of shoes, like big platform shoes, like with the massive wedge and the big heel, and like diamantes and crosses and skulls and studs, and designing like sparkly, like pink diamante heels and stuff like that. I feel like working on shoes and trainers. I feel like trainers too, like super sleek shoes, like almost like his own designer label of like Gucci trainers. Because when it comes to shoes, like the footwear, I feel like he could really, really hone in on like, oh my gosh, all this creativity is just bursting out at the seams. Okay, so I'm working on this and this and this and this, but I feel like the shoes is such a like exciting thing for him. It's like, it feels electric. So I don't know if he's doing that already. Okay, so I'm hearing that he's doing the music already, but he should play or toy around with designing different shoes, like footwear. He would be so good at it. And it's like, it looks like it wouldn't just be, you know, a YouTuber or a musician creating a shoe line. It's like it would go beyond anybody's expectations of him as a creator. It's like his shoe line or his designer line would actually go so far past just a creator made, you know, a new merch. Like, it wouldn't be seen as much. Like, people all over, like rich ass people in Beverly Hills, fucking China, like Japan, like they would love his stuff. Yeah, Japan. I don't know. I'm seeing like he's gonna connect with like fashion designers and retailers in Japan and create these amazing fucking epic shoes, like collabing together with different materials. And yeah, like, oh, okay, these ones have velvet inside and it says my signature in the bottom, and like, you know, when you see the sole of the shoe and it's gonna have like his famous Jeffree, like his star and everything. I feel like that is something that he could really, really harness, and it's going to go beyond so far. Like, yeah, wow. I feel like all of these things, all of these creative pursuits are really going to continue helping him heal all these wounds. And he's got so many light beings, including myself, but so many light beings from different realms, from the etheric realm, spiritual realms, higher and higher and higher above, like my family as well, because Palladians, shout out to you, my Palladians, my Atlanteans. I feel like they're really watching over him and protecting him and giving him all these intuitive hits. Like, things are popping up on his Instagram or his YouTube channel, like seeing certain thumbnails, and he's thinking for a second, like almost like, oh, okay. But then it's like he doesn't necessarily see that that's a message for him. I feel like he's getting so many messages from all these beings that are watching over him and guiding him and pushing him. Like, I feel like the world hasn't seen Jeffree's true creative talent yet. It literally feels like he's just scratching the surface, like he's just been scratching the surface. This guy is so creative, and it's like he just has to allow himself to share these different gifts with the world, with himself. Like, I feel like he's so much more influential and creative than he even gives himself credit for, and I feel like he has to give himself more credit. Next card we have, oh, okay, the noise has stopped, so I don't need to use this. Next card we have, I think I'll probably have to do a close-up so you guys can really see these cards properly. And the noise starts again. Okay, for some reason, the song by Lady Gaga and Space Cowboy came in my head. Oh my gosh, and now the lyrics have just, like, it's like the lyrics just left my head as soon as I said it out loud. If I can find it, I'll play it now, because now it's just suddenly gone out of my head. But it's the one that goes cherry cherry boom boom. Even though I know she said that in a few songs, but it's like dun, dun, dun. Oh my gosh! As soon as I said it out loud, it disappeared from my brain. I'm gonna have to try and find that song, and hopefully this song won't get copyright. Otherwise, I'll just have to like put the lyrics on screen or something. I don't know. For some reason, that came into my head. I think it's just tying in again with the music that I'm hearing him working on secretly. Do you know what? I think Jeffree's like me. When it's like he'll just randomly, well, nothing's random, but he'll just like start hearing or piling lyrics together and suddenly create a melody in his head. Like, literally, like not being at a computer, not trying to make beats, not sitting down and being like, I'm gonna write a song today. No, I feel like he'll sometimes say something like Raven Simone in the Cheetah Girls movie, where she'll hear someone say something and she'll be like, lyric moment. Like, literally, I feel like he's that open to that type of creativity. And yeah, I don't know why Lady Gaga and Space Cowboy is coming in my head. Maybe he's going to make music similar to that song. Maybe he's working with Space Cowboy. Maybe he's doing songs with Lady Gaga, or he's inspired by her. I don't know. But then also, I was thinking about the makeup that he's working and all these secret projects that he's working on with Shane Dawson. And I feel like, even though to me, Jeffree's makeup already looks galactic, already looks like he is from a different planet, because he is, just like I am, just like so many of us are. I feel like his new designs look even more galactic, even more Palladian, even more crystalline than usual. Like, it's like he's expanding his consciousness and it's helping to expand others' consciousness in ways that we can't even foresee, because most people in their ego mind are just like, oh yeah, he's got this new cool makeup, it's got like a crazy 3D star on the top, you know what I mean? And it's like, no, actually this is like some deep, profound shit that he's getting from the higher realms of the planet that he used to fucking come from. But I feel like the universe is pushing him into different situations that he doesn't necessarily trust, once again, and that is one of the grounding cards. I feel like he's going to have to really rely on himself and believe and trust that the universe does have your back. Everything's all rigged. Everything is in your favor always, and you are put into these situations sometimes to test you, to push you to your real fucking core self. And what's the best way that we learn? Through fucking pain. From pain comes transformation. Unfortunately, we can't just learn through like, la la la, my life's amazing, because then we wouldn't transform, we wouldn't grow, we wouldn't expand, we wouldn't be able to overcome certain things. And I know forgiveness is a huge thing. Once again, a grounding energy for Jeffree. He's gonna have to forgive so much, and it really is to do with himself. He's gonna have to forgive himself for the parts he's played in situations, for the thoughts that he's had about people for 10 years, 20 years. Like, forgiveness is for you and you alone. It is for nobody else but you. If you want to then share with somebody, like, do you know what, I've done a lot of healing and I forgive you for the part you played, cool, but you don't have to. Forgiveness is for you. And I feel like he's going through such a huge, like, almost like an eat, pray, love journey, like legit, like I'm in Bali, eat, pray, love away, like it literally feels like that. But it feels so right, girl. What is that song? Oh yeah, you rap my world, you know you did. Yeah, now Michael Jackson's in my head. Okay, so I think Jeffree's going to start opening up more to people that he normally is very protective over. And when I say that, like, he has an extremely small circle. Like, the people that he knows and trusts, like, that is on one hand. Like, literally one hand. Like, I mean, he loves people. He's inspired by people. He cares for people. But the people that he really, deep down, when everything matters and is on the line, the people that he would die for, jump in front of a train for, to save them, they're on one hand. And I feel like he's not only being pushed, but is going to push himself to start opening up to those people, because he's so protective over them, not just because of all the outside energies that come from, you know, social media and being famous and all this stuff, but it feels like he's so protective over them because of his own darkness. He doesn't want to he doesn't want to give that kind of dark energy to people for them to try and figure out how to handle it. He's so protective over that because he feels like he doesn't want like that energy to play a part or play a role into that relationship that he has with that person. But he's gonna be learning. I really hope this microphone's working now, because this noise is loud. He's gonna be learning how to be more vulnerable and open up and trust that it's okay to share some of these dark demons, to share some of these dark energies and experiences and thoughts and feelings that he has with people that he really, really trusts, and that it's okay and that they can handle it, and that sometimes it is the best thing to share your load and just speak about it openly out loud to another soul, because they are also having a human experience. And sometimes when you do open up to somebody other than your mirror, people will say the most profound shit, and sometimes it's the simplest shit that just brings in like that light, that clarity, that light bulb moment, and you're like, wow. Sometimes it is that you really need a fucking hug from someone, but it's a hug in complete and utter honesty, truth, vulnerability. Vulnerability is a fucking strength. It's a power. You can harness it. Empathy. Yeah, Jeffree's being pushed to trust himself and trust the universe and trust his feelings and trust sharing. Even with all of the stuff that's happened in his past, even with all of the mistrust, the fucked up situations, the fake friends, he's being pushed to trust. Wow, just like I was, keeping your heart open. Because guess what? Yeah, there's going to be loads of energies that will try and fuck up your shit. But if you're open, honey, you could receive so many amazing things. Wow. I think Jeffree doesn't realize just how healing and inspiring he actually is to the collective consciousness. People like watch him, stalk him, observe him, that don't even give him like verbal recognition, because they're inspired by him, just who he is, what he's done, what he's overcome, what he puts out there. Wow. Right, now finally we're on to the second row, but I feel like we should talk about the grounding cards now. Okay, Spirit. Spirit just said talk about them at the end. So let's go to the second row. I have no idea if you guys can see that. You have the spiritual gift of healing and a desire to share it with others. Literally what I was just saying. Okay, so this row is what the energy I'm getting from, because sometimes when I do readings, I'll ask specific questions like, what are the blocks for the divine masculine? What is the masculine going through energetically? What are they going through emotionally? Like, you know, stuff like that. But Spirit didn't want me to ask specific questions. They kept saying, let's just pull the cards out and you'll know exactly how to read them and the way to read them. But the energy I'm getting from at least the start of the second row, this feels like things that, it feels like these things are going to be revealed to Jeffree in due time, and is part of his life purpose. And it feels like if he starts to be open to experience these things, it will not only help him ascend, but also help him be more fulfilled. Sorry, my leg is really killing me right now. I might have to take a break just quickly. Baby, can you help me, please? Okay, guys, it's been a bit of a struggle. My back is absolutely jacked up from this moped injury. So, as I was saying, I was pulling this beautiful card for my beloved Jeffree Star. Right, okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Spirit. I don't know if the noise in the background's that loud anymore, so I'm just going to talk into the mic just in case. So I know I'm going to hate if I have to re-record this whole thing again for like the third time. So what I'm seeing is this, as I said, this feels like the future energy of what could manifest. Similar to that thing, who says it? I think it's in Twilight, where someone's talking about Alice and how she can see the future, like an oracle. She can see the future, but the future can always change, because every day, every hour, every minute, every second, your thoughts and your words and your belief system is creating a reality. Whether it's in a different reality or in this reality, you are creating so many different events and experiences through your words, thoughts, and actions. The future can always change. Now, this feels and seems like the future energy of what Jeffree can manifest, and the things that would really help him develop not only his soul growth and expansion, but just develop him overall as a happy, healthy, wealthy, abundant human being vessel. And what I was seeing is Jeffree is gonna have like the idea, or start toying around with the idea of creating almost like a like his own online platform, or almost like a forum, but it's hard to explain because there's nothing like this that I've seen before. I guess in some ways it could be similar to Patreon, but not. It basically, what I'm seeing is, after he's going through such a huge transformation, right? And wow, my whole stomach's out. He's going through such a huge transformation, and he doesn't want to continue butting his head into other people's businesses, dramas, etc., etc. And he wants to create more of a healing, inspirational, positive space and energy, and he wants to attract more positive, healing energy towards him. And it feels like Jeffree wants to create like almost like an online forum where it's a safer space because it's new, and he can, he can put his own administrators into place to protect people from negativity and horrible comments and stuff like that. And it's going to be like almost like another sacred space where people can put their creative content out there, like spoken word, poetry, where up and coming or people that are interested in becoming makeup artists or designers or painters and sketchers can put their videos out there onto this platform, showing off them doing a makeup tutorial, even though they're only 11 years old, and they're doing it with bad lighting and doing it with a palette they've had for 6 years because that's what they have. And rather than being ridiculed on a platform like YouTube, they'll be able to feel safe and be loved and protected on this platform, like where all of the people who want to show off their creative skills and talents and grow with other creatives can do it in a safer space. And he'll be more involved in it and be able to, put out personalized videos to that smaller audience where it is just focused on just the creativity, nothing to do with the stuff that is bought, nothing to do with drama, nothing to do with, I guess, being exposed to just really harsh energies. It feels like, as I said earlier, it feels like he doesn't realize how much he heals the collective consciousness already just by him being him. But I feel like he's going to want to do more and provide a safer environment for people who don't have the means or the tools or don't feel the confidence or the bravery. It feels like some sort of like online platform where he wants to create a safe space so he can share more of himself, more personally, without any other outside energies like on YouTube or Instagram that would attack him, and so others can do the same. Where it's, like back in the old days on YouTube where somebody would put out a video and you could do a video response and everyone was like, wow, yeah, this is cool. And now obviously YouTube isn't the same as it once was. Now YouTube is just a free-for-all. Everyone can say the most horrific things. Like, that's what it feels like. He's really protected, Jeffree. Like, he may not think that he is because he's dealt with so much pain and is still dealing with pain, but there are so many angels and light beings looking after him and watching over him. And now it's like really his turn to really shine the light within himself and realize that he can take himself wherever he wants to go and continue exploring himself through tools like flowers. As I said earlier, I've been getting this card myself for months on end, hence why now I'm surrounding myself more with flowers, putting flowers in my hair. And once again, I was guided to put flowers in my hair again for Jeffree, and no wonder why this card came out. Working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessing to others through your life purpose. I really hope you guys just heard that. I said, working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. I think, once again, similar to me, and I've been saying this to my partner Nick for so long, that I'm so connected to Jeffreestar so much. Like, his soul talks to me for a long time. It's been talking to me, and we've gone through so many similar experiences. and our souls are always talking to each other. It's like that deep soul bond. Like, I really feel like we are soul family, and we have so many similarities, and one of which is actually smelling the flowers. Like, when people are like, oh, you know, open up and smell the roses, like, I feel like one of the things that would help calm him down whenever he's feeling stressed out, upset, overwhelmed, and on top of that, when he's relaxing, when he's in a good mood, I think if he actually stopped and smelt flowers and smelt that divine natural essence, it's going to activate so much in him. It's going to activate his pineal gland, his third eye, his first eye. It's going to activate so much of this healing. He's going to be more consciously aware that it's spreading this healing in him and around him, because smelling these natural flowers, oh my gosh, they are fucking divine. They smell so fucking good. Like, wow. And once again, of course, it's tying hand in hand with what I said at the very start of this reading. Before I even started reading the cards, the messages I was getting was, I feel like Jeffree's going to start working with perfumes more. He loves perfumes. He's going to start working with flower essences and essential oils and creating his own perfume, or just integrating more scents and smells into his makeup already. And it feels like, yeah, I feel like he's definitely going to, I don't know if he has flowers and stuff in his garden. I think he should start putting flowers around his house. Yeah. He doesn't have to go overboard. Or actually, I don't even see it as overboard. I know majority of people see like what Lisa Vanderpump does when she covers her whole house in pink roses and her whole garden's in pink roses. And I love it. And most people see it as overboard. Like, I'm obsessed with this. And I've got so many other flowers all around the garden that you guys can't see. But I'm planning on putting, and we've got a second garden outside, and then a second and a third level down there where we're growing fruits and vegetables to become self-sustainable and stuff. But I'm gonna be gathering, not only planting this beautiful flower behind me, which this one's just naturally growing, but I'm guided to put loads of lavender and sage all along the pathway and the walkway, not only to protect my energy and my home more, but also, oh my gosh, the smell. It's just like, oh, that natural divinity. It's like, wow, this is beautiful. Like, it makes you feel like the queen and king that you really fucking are. It reminds you of your real fucking divine lineage. And I feel like if Jeffree was to just take a flower, oh my gosh, that's good. Oh, fuck. That's some good shit. And smell the flowers. Wow. It's going to bring so much healing and happiness and joy into his life. Something so simple like smelling a flower. So I feel like he should start putting more flowers in and around his house. I don't know if he has flowers in his garden, but I definitely think he should plant some, grow some. One of the best ways to not only heal, remind yourself of who you are, to be present in the fucking moment now, not live in the past, not live in the future in your mind, but actually be fucking present, is to meditate. And meditate comes through many different forms. It's not always sitting cross-legged going even though that is amazing and magical, and it resonates with loads of people, including myself. You can hear the temple sounds in the background. Thank you, Bali. Because is the sound of Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, which you can see behind me. But loads of times people meditate through dancing. I also meditate through dancing. I meditate when I'm cooking. I meditate through gardening, through harvesting, climbing up trees and picking up pawpaw, aka green papaya, from my fruit trees. When the coconuts drop and we pick up the coconuts and then, like, you know, see this massive seed that's grown and chop them up and make coconut milk or water or coconut oil, or put them back into the ground so they can sprout and make a new coconut. There's so many different ways of meditation, and meditation is really just you connecting with yourself, you being in the now, you being in the present moment. And when it comes to flower essences and essential oils, I feel like not only is he going to be able to harness more of his creativity and his spirituality, his essence and his own healing by working more with scents and smells into his makeup, also potentially creating his own fucking perfume, which I feel like he'd be fucking talented at. And once again, I see Lady Gaga popping up in my head because I know she went ham on creating her perfumes. Like, she went in on creating her perfumes. But I also feel like something as simple as smelling a flower is going to bring so much of that to him. And one of the best ways to be present and to see how much you can manifest and create this amazing abundance is by getting seeds, planting seeds, seeing it grow into these tiny little seedlings, seeing it grow and manifest into this plant, seeing it flower, seeing it bloom. And it would be so magical and so healing for him, so that anytime he feels overwhelmed or feels like he's alone or no one understands him, he can go back to his garden and see this beautiful plant growing. That patience, that virtue, understanding that everything is in divine timing, everything is in divine order, everything is in divine orchestration for your greatest and highest good and the greatest and highest good of all. And Jeffree, if you're listening, baby girl, yeah, bring some flowers around you, bring some essential oils around you, get a humidifier and play around and figure out what scents and essential oils you resonate with at different times, and what can bring you clarity, peace of mind, tranquility, summer joy, like all of these different things. Use more essential oils on your face. Like I'm obsessed right now with my Benning face oil. Absolutely fucking beautiful, which I'm gonna start selling my essential oils, so feel free to hit me up. But honestly, it's gonna add so much to your life purpose. Once again, I'm just seeing, yeah, the flowers everywhere, like harvesting them. Like imagine it's like your own child. You have a seed, you see it growing into a plant, you see it flowering, you then cut it off and then you put it into a beautiful bouquet and put it around your house, knowing that you've grown and harvested that. Just like you've grown and harvested your career, it's another part of you. You're giving another part of you this love, this connection. It's amazing. Next up, I feel like Archangel Michael just came in. Your natural healing energy, your natural healing energy healing abilities are an important part of your life purpose. Once again, I'm going hand in hand with what I just said. I hope you guys can hear the tempo in the background. It sounds absolutely phenomenal. I love Bali. Oh my god. As I was saying, the energy healing card, it definitely feels like it's going hand in hand with literally everything I was just saying. It feels like it's just another confirmation from spirit, and everything I've been saying about how Jeffree doesn't even realize how much he's an inspiration to people and how much he heals people through his words, through his energy, through his giving, because he is still so giving to people. Like he gives so much to somebody he loves and cares for. He gives so much of himself. And I know part of this transformation and this pain and this journey is him learning how to give more to himself first, and that if he's right within, everything will follow. It's like that Lauryn Hill lyric, how you gonna win when you ain't right within? Come again. What is that song? Girl, you know you better watch out, 'cause some guys are only about that thing. Yeah, literally. He's gonna continue to like elevate and ascend himself and love himself more in different ways. I feel like Jeffree should I'm seeing aerial yoga and like trapeze artists, like circus tricks, like acrobatics and gymnastics. It's like he's not really interested in like working out in a gym, like with weights and circuit training or hit circuits and bodyweight exercises, or even just doing ordinary yoga. It's like I feel like he would get more excited and feel more like himself by doing like aerial yoga, like hanging upside down and learning like crazy amazing trapeze circus acts and incorporating them into like oh my gosh, what's the thing called, like his makeup promotions, like when he does those massive elaborate photo shoots for his latest products. I feel like he could do like really sexy, sultry, artistic, creative pictures of his makeup with the wigs and the matching nails, like hanging in like one of those hoops, and like having other trapeze artists around him and stuff like that. Like he could easily incorporate that into not only his makeup line, but also like music videos, and doing like funny challenge videos, like doing my makeup upside down, you know, or doing my makeup on a tightrope. But the more and more he's elevating and healing himself, or the more and more, baby girl Jeffree, that you are elevating and healing yourself, it's integral to your life purpose. And I feel like, as I said earlier, the vulnerability is strength, it's power, and you can harness it. And I feel like, Jeffree, you're gonna have to start opening up more to, you know, the people that are supporting you and loving you. Yes, of course, sometimes people are like, we just want to see makeup, I just want to see a tutorial, I'm not interested in your drama, I don't give a fuck. And of course, there's always going to be those people, because they're one-minded, they're single-minded. But you aren't one entity, you aren't one energy, you are a limitless being. And I feel like the more Jeffree can, I guess, open up and expose some of the things he's gone through, to share it with the world, not to be like, oh, woe is me, I had a fucked up childhood, but to be like, hey, I went through this shit and I've gotten here, so you can too. Different parts of him. I feel like if he shares more parts of him, it's going to help people in such a profound way. Like, they're gonna have those amazing light bulb self-realization moments, like, oh my gosh, like, wow, what have I been doing? I could do this instead. Like, what? He's done this, I know I can do it. Similar, yeah, it's profound. And that's going to come from vulnerability and healing and opening up and trusting. Trust. Now, before it gets too dark, I'm going to do one more card. For some reason, I'm seeing a lot of not only pink, of course, pink, for Jeffree, but I'm seeing a lot of what's that word? Effervescent? Effervescent? Is that the word? I'm gonna put a picture on screen here to tell you what I'm talking about, because I feel like his galactic Atlantean Palladian family are like not only watching through him, channeling through him, because he is that, because he isn't from this earthly plane. But it's also like, I feel like he's, I don't know if it's a theme, I don't know if he's working on makeup that looks like that, or like shimmery powders that are like effervescent, or a highlighter, or the packaging. I know he puts so much effort and energy into packaging, and I feel like when he gets these ideas, these intuitive ideas, it's because it's coming from the higher realms. I keep seeing like these crystalline shapes, these geometric patterns, these star clusters, like, and it keeps coming through more and more, like, yeah, really strongly. I just realized, I'm so sorry, I forgot to pick up the microphone, so I really hope you heard every single thing I just said. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's really strong. I'm just gonna quickly put on the lights so you guys can see me. So guys, got super dark. I've got lamps on, and I lit some candles to put around the pool, so because the pool lights are on that side, so you can't really see the lights here. However, they blew out real freaking quick, but I think this background looks freaking epic right now, to be honest. So let's get back to the rest of the reading. You can definitely see the cards way better, so that's a bonus. So just in case the geckos and crickets and birds are too loud, I'm going to continue trying to talk into the microphone if I remember this time. Jeffree's going through a huge reflection period, almost like hibernation, or like majority of us readers, especially a lot of the twin flames that may be watching this video, hermit mode. For those of you who are new to tarot readings, or just don't know what hermit mode is, it's a type of hibernation where one will start to harness their own energy, not be going out all the time and connecting with all the people they usually do, be spending a lot more time alone or indoors in a safer environment, and only interacting with the people that are in that environment, like just in that home or just in that room. Spending a lot more time reflecting on everything they've done in the past, how they've reacted, how they've thought about things and people before, where they're at now energetically and mentally, the different spaces they have been in, and really reflecting on what they actually really fucking want out of life. It's a huge thing to really reflect and see sometimes you weren't the nicest person to yourself or to other people. And that's what he's dealing with right now. He's going through that. He's really trying to be more consciously aware of himself, because he knows that if he's treating people a certain way, of course he's going to get that back more. Of course, because that's what he's attracting. So he's almost isolating himself more from outside interference so that he can really try and be like a praying mantis, observe himself, who he's been, the many faces and many hats he's worn, and to really focus on what he actually wants on a day-to-day basis now. Like, what does he want to wake up and do each day? Because sometimes the things that we've done for 2 years, 6 years, 5 months, even though it's brought us loads of success, whether it's financially or socially or physically, sometimes it ends up being, actually, even though I'm good at that, it just doesn't resonate. I'm just not interested in it. There are shit tons of people who are so creative and so good at singing, but they don't want to sing for a living. They don't want to write songs. They would much rather open up a yoga retreat or do cooking classes and just sing for their own enjoyment. And when people are like, oh my gosh, you're a great singer, have you ever thought about taking it further? They're like, no, do you know what? For me, nah. And it's okay to change your mind. And I feel like he's really reflecting on all the different versions he's been and what he wants from life. And letting go of what he wants from people, and understanding that everything's energy, and if he can give himself those certain things and attract those things, it will come in many different forms. I swear I just saw like a Palladian face behind me. And the bats are out, so yeah, I can see all the bats hanging out right now. Cool beans. So, next card. I felt like this card is really strong, hence why I held it there for much longer. Whoa, I have the chills and my heart is palpitating right now. Wow. Okay, so so I'm hearing, I feel quite alone, and I'm trying to not be or feel like that anymore. Because please tell me you heard that. I'm not normally out here at nighttime, you guys, unless I'm, you know, like, Okay then. Yeah, so I'm hearing him saying that he's felt alone his whole life, and he's trying to not feel like that anymore. And for some people, it's going to be hard for them to understand that, because they're like, but what are you talking about? We spend time together every day. I give you all this love and affection. How can you still feel alone? And it's really because he's been neglecting parts of himself. He's been neglecting his inner child. His inner child has been neglected for a really, really long time. And that's always the integral part of all of us. That's what normally plagues most people. That's why most adults are driven to do horrific things, because they don't love their inner child. They never felt love or affection. Their parents or their upbringing was really harsh on them, so then they see the world in a certain view, and if they don't stay open to receive new information, then they can get stuck in their ways, be really stubborn, and be really toxic and horrible to people, and not even realize that their own behavior is toxic or shitty, or that they're bullying you, or that they've made you feel this small their whole lives. As I said, Jeffree's being guided to open up more and be more vulnerable, and realizing that's a power and a strength and not a weakness. And trying to take a step back and reflect and go into hermit mode and isolation, and really trying to reflect and harness his own energy, and really figure out what it is that he actually fucking wants to do every day. What does he actually want to wake up and do each day? Just because he's been doing a certain thing for so long doesn't mean he has to continue. Like, you're not bound to this type of lifestyle. You're not bound to these responsibilities. It's almost like a lone wolf energy, like a lone wolf that has always been a lone wolf, but has always been searching for their pack. I think Jeffree feels like internally and emotionally, his emotional body needs to fly, like needs to be free, needs to flow free like a bird. It's like, what I'm seeing in my head is a bird left alone a long time ago, raising their own babies, looking after this nest full of eggs, and realizing that they're not bound to look after this nest of eggs every day. They don't have to look outside the window to the outside world and wish, wow, I wonder what that's like. They can actually harness that freedom themselves. And I feel like he's finding new ways of finding his own freedom, his own way of freedom. And now I'm hearing that song that I started playing in the start of my videos until it got copyrighted, by Jill Scott. I'm taking my freedom. Oh, what is the song called? Oh, Golden, that's it. Living my life like it's golden, golden, golden. And it's all about her taking her own freedom, putting it on her shelf, taking that freedom in her car, taking that freedom with her wherever she goes, wherever life guides her to. She is making sure she is constantly harnessing her own freedom. And I think that's what Jeffree, emotionally especially, is going through right now. Realizing he doesn't have to feel alone, that he never really has been alone, that he's always had himself, his inner child, his higher self, all of these amazing beings around him this whole time. And it's like the pain that he's gone through has distorted his view of that, as it does with all of us. I've been there, man. Fuck. Until you realize, wait, this could have been 10 times worse. I was actually protected in so many ways, and on top of that, the pain I was exposed to, I had to go through that because it had to be part of my life journey, my life purpose, my overcoming, my challenges that I rose from the ashes through to help inspire others. If you're a healer, you will go through experiences where you have to fucking heal these big ass wounds in order to help people resonate and be inspired by you and heal them. If I was just saying to you guys, oh yeah, you know, these are the ways you can love yourself, this is how you can get over being abused, if I hadn't gone through it myself, do you really think I could speak on it? Like, no, bitch. You gotta go through that shit. You gotta heal. You gotta transform. Next card. Now this instantly reminds me of Baphomet. As above, so below. I know I've said that probably like 5 times now in this reading. Wow. Gorgeous. Okay, I hope you guys can hear me. Oh my gosh, my leg. Okay. Now, sorry, I'm leaning forward. It's like, bro. Oh my gosh, this accident threw me for a loop. Okay. Okay, that's better. I just got so distracted just then. It feels like there's this new determination energy coming into Jeffree's life, to his mental state. Yeah. It feels like this new determination to see things in a more balanced perspective. In more of like a observational, I'm a counselor, I'm just here to hear you and empathize with you and understand you type of energy. And he's not just treating, you know, situations like that in his life like that, but he's treating himself in a more balanced state, and he's determined to continue living his life in a more balanced state, not just focusing on makeup, not just focusing on YouTube, not just focusing on social media. Like he's balancing every single part of him and understanding that there is strength in everything. There is power, divine essence coming through so many different elements of him. It's like he's got so much like guts and determination, and in the spiritual realms he's doing so much work and has been doing so much work, and it's starting to fully now integrate into his physical vessel, into his human body. And he's getting these, like I said earlier with the music, like when he hears someone saying something or he says something, it's like lyric moment. It's literally like, whoa, oh, okay, cool, yeah, do you know what, I want to do this, I want to create this, I want it to look like this, I want it to be like this amazing different type. Like it's like stuff is just starting to fall into place if he stays open to it, if he continues to do this healing, connecting with himself in more ways, natural, more simple ways, hibernating, really connecting with his true essence, to his heart space more and more and more. Because at this point now, the egos tell lies and the heart tells the truth. Like, and he's starting to really all the work that his higher self, his soul, has been doing in the higher realm is starting to integrate now into this 3D reality. The 5D is merging into the 3D. And he's trying to ground himself a lot more. Yeah, these manifestations are grounding more into this reality. It's like and people around him, it's like the people around him that have been around him for a long time have always been amazed how quickly he can turn things around. But now it's like even more so, like, wow, like, dude, you just created that and it came like after 3 months, it came after 6 months, like, you're a magician, like, who are you? Like, and I think he's starting to, or he's being guided to give more credit to himself, as I said earlier, because he's a great manifester. Like, he really is. He's starting to harness that power that we all have to create our own reality and to manifest our dreams in a more balanced state. Like taking a step back. Sometimes we want to do so many things, and sometimes our wants get in the way of our needs. And he's taking a step back and being more observational and reserved and taking more time to really see the situation and wait for all this information to come in, this guidance, like a praying mantis. And he's realizing the actual needs for his soul rather than just the wants of his ego. And with that determination, I feel like this is just another confirmation from spirit. Feels like complete and utter determination. Wow, bro. Please, for any of you who have similar psychic gifts as I do, whether it's clairsentience, clairaudience, any of the clairs, please tell me if you can see these beings behind me and around me, or even if you're seeing these orbs, because as you guys know, when I channel messages, I get so hot because the energy is so intense that it physically heats up my human vessel. And my goodness, I am seeing, and I feel so many beings around me, like protecting me, like coming in, being like, yes, Nini, and this, and this, and this. And obviously Jeffree's here too, and he's been walking around. I saw him as his adult self now, and I kept on seeing visions of him. When I took one of my breaks, I kept on seeing visions of him as his teenage self with the black hair, you know, to the side, and like the big spikes in the back, and the eyeliner, and the black, and the moody, I'm a rebel type phase. Sorry if it's distracting you guys, but like, please let me know if you guys have awakened those abilities within you, if you can also see or feel what I am, because it is profound, and I don't normally jam in the garden like this late either, and I feel like it's more intense because I'm nearer to Mother Gaia or Mother Earth compared to like when I'm in the front room. Wow. I know, SoulStar, thank you. Okay, yeah, sorry. I feel like this is definitely a determination card. Now, the last part of Jeffree Star's reading, finally commencing in 3, 2, nah. So, I'm really hoping that I've gone through this card already, but I may not have, so let's do this. Okay, I feel like Jeffree's third eye, first eye, pineal gland, intuition, source, connection, higher self is making itself known. His third eye is opening up. And his throat chakra is opening up heavily, and it feels like almost like 9 of Swords energy. Wow, Jeffree's throat chakra is really opening up. As I was saying in the cards earlier, it's like he's starting to realize that by him being vulnerable and opening up more audibly to people that are close to him about certain thoughts, feelings, concerns, things he's gone through as a child, the way it still affects him to this day, it's the best thing he can do for himself, that own liberation, self-liberation, self-freedom. And it's like the 9 of Swords energy, where it's like he's cutting out and cutting through all the bullshit, all the old ways, all the old programs, all the old expectations of him from himself and from others. It also feels like he's really what's the right word in English? Determined. He's very determined to make this change, this radical change in his own behavioral patterns, a new reality, his new reality. He's making it known to himself and to others around him. Please tell me you just saw that, because I just saw a spirit in the bushes. I'm not sure if that was Jeffree's soul or not. When I'm telling you, when I've been channeling Jeffree and doing loads of healing for his soul over the last 48 hours, or it might be longer than that now. Woo! I've physically seen him walking around as his adult self, like you know him today, and his teenage self with the black swooped fringe and the spiky hair at the back. So that could have been him, for all I know. That was too quick for me to understand. Now, the overall last row of what Jeffree must do. Like these are integral messages on what he must do and change and balance out in his life to make it much better, more fulfilled and more peaceful overall. First, we have find balance. Now I know you guys are thinking, girl, you've been saying that the whole freaking reading, and yes, I have, in so many different ways, but this is a serious integral change that needs to happen and is already happening. But sometimes when we think that, okay, we change one thing, we adapt on this at this point in our lives, and then we start doing this a bit more, everything starts to flow in more. And yes, of course, to a certain degree that's true, but sometimes there has to be a huge overhaul change, like full-on renovation within you. Okay, I'm getting a lot of messages. Jeffree's really loud and clear right now through this card, and he's still talking to me now. He was saying he wants to make a lot of changes. His soul is saying he wants to make changes, especially with the way that he's outputting, producing content, producing healing to the world. And it feels like it's trying to seep through to Jeffree's conscious. It's like his subconscious is trying to etch its way through. I'm really having trouble with my throat, you guys. Jeffree's really trying to open up his throat chakra. And I feel like it's stronger today because I started doing this reading for Jeffree 2 days ago, so his energy's been with me, and hence why I've been involving him in all these healing sessions. It feels like it's much stronger today, like right here, right now. What is the day? The 23rd of May. I feel like he's really audibly talking to like Nate or a close friend and himself about self-realizations of how much he wants to change and grow and push the boundaries more. I feel like he's literally talking about that right now. So Jeffree, baby, if you're watching, remind yourself of what happened on the 23rd of May. What did you say? Even if it was just a minute or 2 minutes, something profound you're saying right now. Now, what I was hearing is his soul wants to elevate and spread more love and light through different ways, through different mediums. And I'm seeing that he wants, or his soul wants to change up the content that he's producing online, like almost like his soul's like, okay, yeah, you got that down pat, now let's explore a bit more. Like, this is kind of getting stagnant, it's kind of getting boring now. Like, do more than just the challenges and the makeups and the drama videos. And even though the drama videos are stopping, like, don't just do the challenges that everyone else is doing, because you're worth so much more than just copying other people. And I'm seeing stuff like his soul wants to like explore different aspects of the beauty industry, like divulging into the beauty standards in like Korea, China, Japan, Malaysia, trying and testing different beauty products there, traveling to those different parts of the world and seeing the way that they do their makeup, and doing, I guess, a type of like challenge, doing my makeup with Malaysian makeup in Malaysia type of thing, with a Malaysian, you know, queen or princess, or how the locals do it. But then I'm really seeing his soul wanting to work more with children with disabilities, or with different things on their skin that aren't, you know, the quote-unquote beauty standard. Like me, I have a massive eczema scar around my face, around my lips, sorry. And you know, people with psoriasis, or people with vitiligo, and people with cleft lips and stuff like that. And it's like, I feel like his soul wants to divulge more into not only connecting with those people, but spreading more awareness of those people, showing how beautiful those people are, and that those people who want to express themselves in different ways with makeup can still do it. That's what I'm seeing him wanting to do. And I feel like the more he can explore soul growth and really working and living through his heart space authentically, without the ego coming in being like, oh, but this is what people like to see, and this is what people want, and this is what will get me views, and people want to like things in a certain way. Like, honey, stop caring about that. What is it you want to do? Because you can continue getting 6 mil views on videos and making 500 gazillion pounds a day, but if your heart's still not fulfilled, what's the fucking point? Like, what are you gonna do? Die in your shoes and your bags, wishing that you'd done more with your life? Like, there's no point in doing that. So I feel like he's being pushed to really step more into his heart space, even more now than before. Stay in his heart space and understand sometimes when you're growing and expanding and going through these spiritual awakenings, sometimes you do lose friends and family, because your energy no longer resonates with theirs, and you can no longer put yourself around certain people. And it could be that suddenly you lose loads of followers, and then you gain the real followers because you're losing your fake family, your fake subscribers, your fake watchers, your fake supporters, and you're actually gaining in those real soul family members who love you for the authentic soul that you fucking are, rather than, so guys, today we're going to do this. Like, it's so much more than that. My spirit wants him to find a much more overall centered balance within every part of him, like mind, body, soul, the happiness, the joy, the fun, crazy, cheeky side, then the sensitive soul, then the person who actually openly shares with people, doesn't become all closed off and cold and frigid because they've been hurt so many times before. No, that's no longer your storyline. You've had those experiences, you've learned from them, you've grown from them, you are the person you are today. It's gotten you to a certain place, and you can now teach and help and heal others through those painful experiences. You are a healer, Jeffree, so you've had to experience these things in order to heal them, to be a healer for the world, for the collective. That is your purpose, in so many different ways. So it's no longer the storyline, it's an experience. So Spirit really wants him to balance out every part of him and shine the light on every part of him, as I've literally been saying this whole reading. Well-deserved reward. Straight off the bat, I'm seeing visions of Jeffree going to hospitals, doing charity events, really when he's doing all these things that are not only helping the collective but expanding not expanding his holes, that sounds so dodgy. Expanding your holes. No, when he's filling up, oh wow, when he is trying to fill all this light within his darkness with himself, and then gravitating and adding more light onto his soul and his essence and his energy by doing these beautiful things like working with kids. I really see him working so well with kids, and I know he's already done it before in smaller aspects, but I feel like if he was connecting more with kids, like, it's almost like he doesn't even realize how happy and fulfilled he can feel just by being with kids, connecting with kids, inspiring kids, playing games with kids, talking to kids as if there isn't anything wrong with them, because guess what, there really fucking isn't. And connecting with them in a way, being like, you know what, I've always been an outsider, I've always been an alien, I've always been bullied, I've always been called a freak, you know, fag, asshole, all of these things, and like giving that inspiration to that child who does feel so alone and feels like nobody and none of the adults around them understand what they've been going through. I feel like that would be so rewarding for him. This is really talking about the rewards that he can feel in his heart chakra, in all of his chakras, balancing out like the creative side, of course, but really vibrating love to such a degree that it's just pouring out of him. And one of the best things to do is not only give it to himself through, you know, meditation or yoga or singing and creating music and creating new amazing products and working with all these flower essences and essential oils, but really connecting with his inner child. And one of the best ways you can do that is by connecting with other children. And I feel like one of the best rewards that will ever come about and manifest into fruition into his life is by him connecting with children through his own inner child. And I feel like that's what Spirit wants Jeffree to really believe trust and focus that if you step more and more into your heart space every day and be more open and vulnerable and connect more and do more of the things that you're curious about, the rewards, like, they are priceless. You cannot buy them. It's not something you can go into a store and collect. It's really, it's life. That's why you've come here, Jeffree. You are a soul living a human experience. Not a human living a soulful experience, a soul living a human experience. Life is temporary. Life is short. This human vessel that you have is short. This experience is short. So really try and get clear and try and get still and be able to stay open to receive messages on what you really need to do. Because his best rewards are going to come from his heart. Oh, I didn't even clock that came next. Wow. Giving and receiving. So beautiful. Oh, and it's got the star in the middle, just like Jeffree. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, so this goes hand in hand with what I was just saying about the well-deserved reward and him connecting more with children, especially his inner child, through that medium as well. But this is also, once again, touching on the vulnerability, and literally you can see so many hearts over here. It's all about literally all of these go hand in hand, the balancing act especially as well. Balancing out all the different energy fields, the chakras we have within us, making sure that we're more in alignment, more still, more peaceful within ourselves before we even speak to another soul in a human vessel in the morning, before we even roll over and kiss them. Like, really honing that in within yourself. And right now, I'm going to say it again, Jeffree is going to be pushed and directed and guided to give and produce in ways that he hasn't necessarily done before, and stay open to receive, because he has such great defense systems. Like, he has a fucking fortress around him. Like, there's Jeffree, then there's a gate, then there's a house, then there's another gate, then there's a house, a gate, a house, a gate, a house, a gate, a house, a gate, a house. There's so many gates and houses all blocking him that it could make up a whole fucking village. Like, bare people could live there. But it's just Jeffree in the middle with 500 defenses up, like, and he's gonna have to really start and continue to break these walls down and heal these wounds, because the more he produces things, puts things out into the world that he really authentically fucking loves. And I'm not saying that he's not now, I'm just saying that to a certain degree he's already been limiting himself. He is so creative and talented and so healing that he's been limiting and delaying certain parts of him. And I feel like so many parts of him are subconsciously, it feels like there's parts of him that are scared to divulge that deep within himself, because it feels like he has that fear that if he divulges too deep into these inner child issues to try and heal them, it's like he's scared that he's going to stay stuck in that really dark space and that he won't be able to come out, or because it was such a struggle the last time he went there, he doesn't even want to do that, because fuck doing that, like, who wants to be that depressed again? Like, so, but he's going to have to get over that fear, because fear is false evidence appearing real. It is an illusion. You have to walk past it, walk through it, jump over it, whatever you need to do, honey, just get through it. Like, you have to drop that illusion. Fear is the opposite of love and trust. It really is. And he needs to continue to produce more things that he really fucking loves, regardless of if it's not what people expect from him, or if it's not why people subscribe to him, or blah blah blah. He has to get over that fact. Like, drop that ego. Who gives a fuck? People will gravitate towards you. If you're emitting a certain energy, the energy will come back to you times 10. So if you're emitting more authentic, heart-spaced, projects, producing more videos that you really, really love, near and dear to your heart. Yeah, it might not get as many views, or you might get more thumbs down. But guess what? You're doing what you really fucking want to do, rather than doing what people expect of you. And then on top of that, as I said, the balancing act. You have to be open to receive. You've been hurt, you've been burned, you've been crossed, double crossed, triple crossed, fucking crucifix crossed, probably. I'm sure there's probably people you slept with who have fucked you over as well. Hence why I had the crucifix in my head, but that's just my own S&M memories right there. Anyways, so what I'm saying is you have to remain open. You have to. You have to, you have to, you have to. If you are worthy of love, if you deserve love, you need to stay open to receiving love in all forms, from yourself, from every part of yourself, and from people that you may not necessarily trust. It could even end up being somebody who has pissed you off in the past or screwed you over in the past, and they've completely changed and transformed, and they end up coming back around again, and you have to use your own discernment and listen to your own intuition, higher self, your soul, your heart, to be like, you know what, let me see how this goes. You have to let these defenses down. Like, there's so much for you to give, but there's also so much for you to receive. It is a balancing act, knowing how to give and receive, because so many of us, especially divine feminines, we tend to just give, and then we always lack the reciprocity, and then we always have these abandonment issues stemming from our inner childhood, and it's just like, come on. And then typically masculine energies, they'll struggle to receive, because they're like, what? I don't need to receive this love. Why are you kissing my forehead? Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you have to find that balance, giving and receiving, taking and giving. Everything is in balance, cohesively, to make your life the most peaceful, tranquil, fun-filled, joyous life that you could possibly have. So he's going to really be working on that and being pushed and guided. Things are going to be cropping up. Certain people, certain opportunities are going to come about, and he's going to have to use his discernment, like, oh, I'd never normally go to that town or that country or that state, or I'd never normally go to something like this, but you know what, my soul is pushing me to go to this, so let's just go with the flow and stay open and see what happens. And when you are in flow, everything falls into place, literally. And I know I've said this time and time again in twin flame readings, when you are in flow, everything falls into place. The universe is literally like, yes, you finally opened those doors. Oh my gosh, I can bring in this person tomorrow, then this person in 3 days time, then this opportunity in 2 weeks. It literally is that quick. I've been in flow consciously for what, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, something like that. I've lost track since I've been in Bali. I've been in flow. Even just before I got to Bali, when I was still living in Barcelona in Spain, I was in flow already, and I've still been in flow. And since then, I've connected with so many amazing soul family members, other healers, other twin flames, other musicians, artists, sons and actresses and dancers like myself, but they're from famous mothers that I watched on TV. And then I connected with Russell Simmons and his friends and his family, and then we're organizing for him to come around to this space and see us. And then we get connected to this beautiful soul called Joe Brown, who's a famous filmmaker, and he's been in LA and worked with Dr. Dre and all these things. He also knows Russell Simmons, and we're now his connection to Russell Simmons, and all of these things. Oh my goodness, all of these things. And then the beautiful soul Wendy, my beautiful soul, my fellow twin flame, my subscriber, she comes today after we're connecting on email, and she comes in today just as a surprise, like, hi guys, you gave me your address, surprise. And it was just like, wow, destined, divine timing, divine orchestration. When you are in flow, you can manifest so many amazing things. When you are in flow, the universe just gives you present gift all the time. You are abundant, you are prosperous, you are worthy. Now the last card we have for Jeffree, win or lose. This is literally just like an extra confirmation of everything I've been saying, including, wow, the listen card, which is one of the grounding energies, just hit the spiritual flower bowl. So okay, Jeffree, you're gonna have to really continue to be still, be peaceful, be in your own energy, no one else around you, no other soul in a human vessel around you, and really connect more with your spiritual side, your soul, and really start listening to your intuition and these thoughts or visions or ideas that come up in your head, and try and learn how to use your discernment of what's coming from my ego and what's coming from my heart, because our ego is loud. They're fucking chatterboxes, man. They'll just go like and then but then your heart is really going to start being able to come through more to your conscious mind, and you're going to be able to really hear these messages that are for your greatest and highest good. And this is extra confirmation on everything we've spoken about in this long ass, probably 3-hour reading. And but yeah, he needs this healing. So I love you, Jeffree. This is extra confirmation that if you continue to step more into your authentic self, exploring yourself by yourself and with new energies, new entities, new opportunities, and the people that are supposed to be in your life, they'll automatically still go with you. They'll still roll with you. They'll still support you. And the people that aren't supporting your new journey of self-exploration, they're not supposed to be in your life anymore. They've served their purpose. And it's really coming into a time, or you're coming into a time, alongside the whole collective consciousness, we're all coming into a time right now where it's reminding ourselves of our worth and understanding that if things don't serve you for the greatest good, then they don't need to be there. It really is like that. So your energy is the most important thing. Your peace of mind, your love for yourself, that's the most important thing. And if when you're going through these different spiritual awakenings or journeys of self-exploration and self-love and trying out new things, people will fall away. They will. But guess what? It's the best thing for people to fall away if you're authentically being yourself. If people are falling away and you're still not fully being 100% fulfilled with where you are within yourself, then they're just reflecting back to what you've been doing, which is, hello, this is a mirror, and you've been running away, and maybe you attracted this issue because you still have that somewhere deep down in your subconscious of acting a certain way, because life is a mirror. It really is. And of course there will always be energies that will come in and test you and try and fuck up your shit, because when you're raising your vibration and you're stepping more into your power, all of these beings around us, because we really are in a fucking huge spiritual war, they will try and keep you down. They will try and keep you suppressed. They will try and keep you dependent on the system. And it's just going to be more of you really respecting yourself. It's really you respecting yourself, honoring yourself. And so it is. Now what I'm going to do is just quickly show you the grounding cards. I do feel like this reading is probably going to be like 2 hours, 2.5 hours long. I ain't got a clue if any of y'all will watch it. I know when I do twin flame readings, a lot of the time they're like 1 hour and 45 minutes long, but of course all of the DFs always want to know what the DMs are up to, so they watch. I'm going to show you the grounding cards from all of the piles. Forgiveness. And whoever's watching this, whether it's Jeffree, his supporters, his fans, his friends, hopefully you'll be able to connect with the imagery, images, and or any of the messages in these cards when I'm showing it to you. So, conscious acts of kindness. I'm just going to show each card for a few seconds so you can pick up on more intuitive messages. So whoever's watching, you can also practice hearing your intuition, your higher self, your soul, or God, whatever you want to label that connection you have to your own divinity. The second card we have is trust for the grounding energy. Looking into her crystal ball with the angel wings. Trust your feelings and dreams to guide you to your career path. Oh, I love this card. Yes, honey. Another grounding energy, that beautiful, beautiful cauldron. Or some of you would call it a teapot or an old school teapot, but to me this is definitely representing a cauldron. But look at the tied up with chains. and the number 22 as well. So use your intuition to figure out what these messages mean to you. It's like when you're on a camping stove or fire, like you're lighting it on the wood almost. And of course, as we said before, listen to the sound in my heart. I have no idea if that's even the lyrics, but that's what's just coming to my mind. So I just want to thank you all. Thank you especially, of course, first and foremost, to beautiful Jeffree Star. Thank you so much for trusting me with your soul. Thank you to your soul, your higher self, coming towards me to help me channel these messages for you, for your greatest and highest good. I love you. I support you. You are worthy of everything you could ever want in your entire life, and it is okay to be vulnerable, and it is okay to be yourself, and that is your strength and your power and your true essence and healing that you're bringing not only to yourself but to the world. And to all of those watching, I love you and I support you as well. Remember that you are abundant. Abundance and happiness is your birthright. And I hope you guys enjoyed the first, I guess, celebrity style reading that I've done here on my channel. Of course, if you guys want to come and visit Bali, Ubud, and stay at our beautiful retreat here at our house and connect with us or do healing sessions with us in person, I've got a slight list, connect with us in person, then all the links that will be in the description. If any of you guys want some tarot readings, Reiki, affirmations, guidance, counseling, inner child trauma recovery, then I also provide those healing services for you in the description. The listen card came out again, so thanks for listening. And of course, if you want any natal chart readings and more healing sessions with my divine masculine, Nick Jesse, aka Soul Authentic, then the links to that will also be in the description. You can donate via the PayPal link if you'd like to donate to us to help us out, and we love you so much. Please comment down below how far you watched into this reading, if any of these messages have resonated with you, and on top of that, who you'd like to see me read next if I do decide to read another celebrity. So I love you, I love you, I love you. Remember, you can achieve absolutely anything you want in life. You are amazing just the way you are. Continue stepping into your true, authentic power and being yourself. I love you. Bye guys. Namaste. Woo, I did it, Jeffree. I'm gonna break your heart. Get away with murder.